when we're off the mat as well. Child seat is an asana of devotion. It's an asana of connection and servitude. And now inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale also through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the nose, and as you do that, spread the fingers wide, creating some pressure in your hands. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your sit bones, and come into a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Going to continue that breath, yogi's breath, Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Your Ujjayi Pranayama goes in through the nose and out through the nose, creating heat within your body, but a cooling breath coming out. It helps your body to stay cool as we build a little bit of heat through our vinyasas, through our asanas. Let's put your hands on blocks. The breath sounds like you are Darth Vader. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Here in downward facing dog, everybody bend your knees just slightly, bringing the chest toward the thighs. So pull your thighs up and back, pull your sit bones up, bend your knees, and bring the chest toward the knees. Your heels are reaching down, even though your knees are slightly bent. And your fingers and your hands are creating a firm connection while your sit bones reach up to the sky. And now on your exhale, straighten the legs. On your inhale, straighten the legs now. On your inhale, come forward to a plank position, looking forward. Exhale here for 1. Creating one long line with your body. Exhale 2, looking forward past the front of the mat. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5, inhale, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7, inhale, exhale 8, inhale, exhale 9, inhale, exhale, bring your sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. If you would not like hands on assist tonight, please raise a leg in down dog. On the inhale, slowly start to walk your feet forward. Toes come 6 to 8 inches behind the wrist creases. And then on your exhale, fold over straight legs for a modified Uttanasana. So if your palms are not firmly on the ground, use blocks, blankets, straps. They're all here to help us. So if your hands are not firmly on the ground, I will say it again. Place your palms on blocks. Good, everybody. Inhale, exhale 5, inhale, exhale 6, inhale, exhale 7. Your feet are a little too wide, hips width distance apart. Exhale 8, inhale, exhale 9, inhale, exhale 10. On your inhale, heel toe the feet out as wide as the mat. So the toes come onto the mat, the heels stay, or the toes come onto the floor, heels stay on the mat. And then as you exhale, bring the sit bones down, coming into a yogi squat, bringing your hands into heart center and pressing into the thighs with the elbows. If this is the first time you have ever done a yogi squat in your life, come sit on a block. Make it a little easier. Inhale, exhale, 1. So as you're pressing out with the elbows, you're pulling up like your head is trying to come to the ceiling while the sit bones are pulling down. Inhale, exhale, 4. Good. Inhale, exhale, 5. Pretend as if I'm behind you and my hand is on your head and you're trying to push my hand away. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale. Place your hands on the ground and then come to sit down on your sit bones, lengthening the legs out in front of you. Placing the hands by the hips, pressing through the heel, toes are pointed up toward the sky, dorsal flexing the feet, Dandasana staff seat. So we're not pressing into our hands and leaning back, we're just sitting up tall with our hands next to our hips. Keeping those legs like tree trunks and feeling what that feels like to engage the post-anterior chain. So on your inhale, bend the right knee into the chest, and exhale, place the right foot on the outside of the left knee. On your inhale, bring your left arm alongside your ear, and then exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, exhale, 1. So while we're waking up the spine with our twist, we want to remember the tree trunk leg that we have, our left leg. Exhale, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. If available to you, gaze is over the right shoulder. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, bring the right leg back to meet the left. So now both legs are straight in front of you. We're still dorsal flexing our feet and we're pressing through those heels. Inhale, bend the left knee into the chest. And exhale, place the left foot on the outside of the right knee. Inhale, bring the right arm alongside the ear. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2, sitting up tall. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, lengthen the left leg so both legs are straight out in front of you. On your inhale, bend your knees and place your feet where your knees were. So your feet and your legs are about hips width distance apart. Place your hands 6 to 8 inches behind your sit bones, and your fingertips are pointing toward your sit bones. Your fingertips are pointing toward your sit bones. Good. On your inhale, press into the feet, press into the hands, lift the hips, and exhale. Bring the head back with control. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and come to sit down, finding a comfortable seat. Some of you asked me what is chanting, so we're about to find out. So find a comfortable seat. I like to sit on a couple blankets, not trying to make life too hard. Enough comes at us throughout the day as it is. But up to you. And then commit to that seat once you found it. Sitting up tall, lengthening the spine. And let's close our eyes. You can rest your palms on your knees. Just take a deep, full inhale through the nose. And exhale. Take another deep, full inhale. And exhale everything out through the nose. Let's start with 3 ohms. So taking your Urban Sadhu chant book, which has a lot of different mantras, slokas, sutras from different yoga philosophers, gurus throughout thousands and thousands of years, we'll open it to page 35. And we're going to chant number 72, the Guru Mantra. So the way that we'll chant this is kind of like a call and response. I'll call out a few words of it, try to pronounce it, then we'll pronounce it and sing it together. And then we'll put all of the words together. And after we sing it a few times together, what we'll do is we'll talk about what the meaning or the interpretation is and a theme related to the exploration of the month here at Urban Sadhu. Okay? So like I said, we'll do it as a call and response. So let's all say Om one more time together, and then I'll start and I'll let you know when it's your turn. All right? Om. My turn. Guru Brahma. Your turn. Guru Brahma. My turn. Guru Vishnu. Your turn. Guru Vishnu. My turn. Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Your turn. Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. My turn. Guru Sakshat. Your turn. Guru Sakshat. My turn. Param Brahma. Your turn. Param Brahma. My turn. Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Your turn. Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Now it's your turn. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. My turn. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Now it's your turn. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma. Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. So I'm going to sing it once all the way through. Then we'll sing it once all the way through together 2 more times. Okay? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Now let's sing it all together twice. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. You did it. We did it. So the beginning of a cycle is a teacher, the middle of a cycle is a teacher, and the ending of a cycle is a teacher. There are teachers in plain sight. There are teachers that will be revealed when the time is right. I humbly bow down to the Guru, the remover of ignorance, the enlightenment principle that is omnipresent. There are so many different learnings and lessons coming from this one mantra. It's very moving. One of the concepts, or part of one of the concepts that we're talking about this month is how to approach death as a society, as a community. And so for those of you who are here for the first time, it's kind of funny. Here we are talking about death. Welcome to Urban Sadhu. You know, and I feel that way and have to make a little bit, or feel like I have to make a little bit of a joke about it, because we live in a world where we try to forget that death exists. We don't talk about it. We celebrate birth. We celebrate youth. We try to look younger. We try not to age. You know, I saw on Instagram last week some guy saying, well, I'm never going to die, and here's how I'm not going to do it. Okay. But everything has a beginning, a middle, an end. And everything is teaching us something, and those teachings will be revealed to us when the time is right. And as you think about death and those perhaps loved ones who have died, right, who we've known in our lives, and they've been in a body that we recognize, and then they do pass on, or some other euphemism to use about that. You know, I was going to tell you a story, but it'll take a little too long. So what I'll say is, when my grandmother passed away, she told us all that the way that we would know she was okay was if we saw a feather. We were like, okay, crazy lady on a lot of morphine, like, great. And sure enough, after the days after she died, we saw feathers, and, you know, everybody's kind of heard this one sort of story, right? Like, something happens that makes you believe in mystical things. And it happened for us. And so my grandmother's passed away 12 years ago. And just recently, I started noticing the single feathers in places that you wouldn't normally see them. And, you know, it makes you think about the relationship that you have with those who we've previously identified as a soul and a body in one. But if you start to think about your relationship with that being outside of the body that you knew that they were in, you can kind of think that, like, maybe your relationship with them has continued on even though they've left that body. Which you may also think I might be on a lot of morphine and drugs too. But, you know, as we think about a concept of I'm not the mind, I'm not the body. If I'm behind that mind and that body, then there's something else that I am that isn't either of these tangible things. And Ram Dass, who's a spiritual guru and teacher, has spoken a lot about this concept of death and separation from the ego. And it's your ego that's afraid of dying, because it's afraid of losing itself and it's just an ego of what's in this body, this label that I put on myself. I'm a yoga teacher. I work in sales. I, whatever, like to listen to music. Whatever those things are, that's all your ego talking. But if you think about yourself beyond that ego, then maybe having a relationship with someone who used to be in a body but isn't in that body anymore isn't so weird or off kilter. And so as you practice tonight, and one of the things that sets yoga apart from a workout class is the intention that we set while we practice on the mat. Because it'll get hard and we'll do lots of different asanas and contort our bodies in interesting ways. But the yoga class is not about that asana, right? It's about the intention that you set beyond that asana practice, which is what makes it yoga. And so for tonight, as you set your intention for your practice, maybe think about a loved one who has passed on, but who you've learned something from. And what are those lessons that you've learned from them? And have they changed or morphed as the years have gone by since they've left the body you knew them to be in? So food for thought. You can close up your chant books and put them off to the side. Now the fun begins. So please, I encourage you, we do have some new folks in the room tonight, and welcome. We're so excited to have you. Do use your props. They're your friends. They're there to help you. Don't let that ego or label of things that you think about yourself that you should be able to do or not do get in the way of actually exploring and experiencing the asanas. So come stand at the top of your mat in what we call Tadasana, or mountain seat. Big toes and heels touch. Energy moving up the front of the body, down the back of the body. Here in Urban Sadhu, we do like our big toes and heels to touch. If you are pregnant or have some other injury and need a slight space, that's okay. But in any otherwise, having the right and left side of the body touch keeps our awareness on the mat so your mind doesn't go in all different directions and you don't forget to listen to me while we're here. So your arms come along your sides like you have little weights hanging from your fingertips, pulling up through the kneecaps, through the thighs. Energy's moving up the body and down the back of the body. On your inhale with straight legs, bring your hands together in prayer in your heart center. Close your eyes and bow your head and set the intention for your practice tonight, just as we talked about. And then open your eyes, bring your hands by your side, Tadasana. Inhale through the nose, bring the hands to heart center, and then bring the prayer hands up overhead and see the prayer. Exhale, fold over straight legs, placing the hands on the ground or blocks, Uttanasana. On your inhale, look up, prepare, and then exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, come to upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and stay here. Inhale, exhale, one. So I'm going to encourage you to use these blocks and keep your hands on the blocks while you're practicing this, okay? It just gives you more space. Exhale, three. Inhale. I would also say to take off the socks so that when you sweat, you don't fall. Exhale, five. Bend your knees, look forward, prepare. On your inhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Feet come in between your hands. And then exhale, fold forward over straight legs. With straight legs, bring the prayer hands together and bring the prayer hands up overhead. And then exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana, mountain seat. Let's do that again. On your inhale, prayer hands up overhead. See the prayer. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. On your inhale, look up, prepare. Let's use blocks here too. And then on your exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Bend your knees, look forward, prepare. On your inhale, step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. And exhale, fold over straight legs. On your inhale, with straight legs, bring the prayer hands up overhead. See the prayer. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. One more time, just like that. On your inhale, bring the prayer hands up overhead. See the prayer. Exhale, fold over straight legs, Uttanasana. Place your palms on the ground outside of your feet. On your inhale, look up, prepare. And on your exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale. So hang your head. There you go. Exhale 3. Inhale. You can keep your knees slightly bent. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Bend your knees, look forward, prepare. On your inhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold over straight legs. On your inhale, bring the prayer hands up overhead. See the prayer. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. On your inhale with straight legs, hook your thumbs, reach up and arch back. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back, straighten arms and legs. On your inhale, place your hands down next to your feet, step your right foot back into a long lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank position. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come forward to a plank position. Exhale the knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On your inhale, step your right foot forward to a lunge, look forward. Exhale, left foot comes to meet right, fold over straight legs. On your inhale, bend your knees, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back, straighten arms and legs. On your inhale, place your hands down next to your feet and step your left foot back to a lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank position, look forward. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On your inhale, come up to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward to a lunge. Exhale, right foot comes to meet left, fold over straight legs. Inhale, bend your knees, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. All right, pause for 1 minute. This is helpful for everybody. Chaturanga is a yoga push-up. Our elbows stay in. It requires some strength. You're only coming down 2 inches, right? Your elbows aren't coming out. You don't want to do this when you're on the mat. You can drop down to your knees. So if I'm here and I'm coming forward to a plank, this is my chaturanga. Not this, not some other version. So if I'm like, wow, that's really hard, I can bring my knees down, right? Just like a modification in any gym class that you might do. And then come down, making sure that the elbows stay close to the torso. So again, it's not like we're in the military, right? Here. And then when you slide forward, and come to an upward facing dog. Your tops of the feet are on the ground. You've lifted your legs off, so you have to pull through those legs, right? And then your head comes up, okay? So use your blocks, drop down to your knees. Use modifications, right? You don't want to hurt your shoulders. It's very easy to. This does move quickly, so make the modifications that you need. Let's try that one more time. Big toes and heels touch. On your inhale with straight legs, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back, straighten arms and legs. On your inhale, place your hands down next to your feet, step your right foot back to a lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep your hands on the blocks. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On your inhale, step your right foot forward to a lunge, look forward. Exhale, left foot comes to meet right, fold over, straight legs. Inhale, bend your knees, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, clasp your hands behind your back, straighten arms and legs. On your inhale, place your hands down next to your feet, step your left foot back to a lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. On your inhale, step your left foot forward to a lunge. Exhale, right foot comes to meet left and fold over, straight legs. On your inhale, bend your knees, hook your thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. On your inhale, bend your knees, bring your arms alongside your ears, Utkatasana. So it looks a little bit like you're awkwardly sitting in a chair, but your chest is facing up. So you're not like this, you're like this. And then exhale, fold over, straight legs, Uttanasana. On your inhale, look up, prepare. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your right foot forward, left heel comes down, rise up to warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step your left foot forward, right heel comes down, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And stay. Inhale. Exhale, one. Inhale. Exhale, two. Inhale. Exhale, three. Inhale. So pull in at the ribs. Exhale, four. Inhale. Exhale, five. Bend your knees, look forward, prepare. On your inhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold over, straight legs. On your inhale, bend your knees, arms alongside ears, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands by the side, Tadasana. So standing where you are, bend the right knee into the chest, balancing on your left leg. And then on your exhale, open the right knee to the side and place the sole of your right foot on the inside of your thigh or your calf, but not your knee. Tree pose, Shasana. On your inhale, bring your hands together in prayer and then exhale here for one. Inhale, exhale, two. So if you'd like, you can bring your arms up here if you're balanced, and then bring it into a V shape. Some branches for your tree. Exhale, three. Inhale. Exhale, four. Inhale. Exhale, five. On your inhale, bring your right knee back into your chest and give it a hug. And then exhale, Bring the right foot down next to the left. Tadasana. Bring your big toes and heels to touch. This is why it's important to remember the energy is moving up the front of the body, back down the back of the body. And you want to remember that tree trunk on your standing leg to give you some stability. So on your inhale, bend the left knee into the chest and give it a hug. And then exhale, open that left knee out to the side and place the sole of the left foot on your thigh or your calf. And then bring the hands together in prayer in heart center and exhale here for one. On your inhale, if stable, let's leave your hands in the heart center. Bring your hands up and you can open the tree branches. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep our hands next in front of our chest. Exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, bring the left knee forward and give it a hug. And then exhale, place the left foot next to the right, Tadasana. On your inhale, bend your knees, arms alongside ears, Utkatasana. And then exhale, bring the hands through heart center, twist to the right, bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center, arms alongside ears. And then exhale, straighten your legs and fold forward over your straight legs. On your inhale, bend your knees, arms alongside ears, Utkatasana. And then exhale, bring the hands through heart center and twist to the left, right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Inhale, exhale 1. So Priya, we're gonna move our hips back to the center and then twist from the spine, not from our whole body. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center, arms alongside ears. And then exhale, fold over straight legs, Uttanasana. On your inhale, look up, prepare. Exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your inhale, step your right foot forward, left heel comes down, rise up, warrior 1, and stay. Exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2. So turn this left foot in so the toes are pointing toward the top left corner of your mat. Exhale 2, inhale, pulling the right hip back, left hip forward. Exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, open arms and hips to warrior 2. On your inhale, lengthen the right leg, straighten the right leg. Exhale, reach the right arm toward the front of the room and then place the right hand on the right shin. Bring the left arm up to the sky for triangle Trikonasana. Keeping the right hand on the right shin, not on the ankle, the energy is moving up toward the ceiling for Trikonasana. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, come up to stand tall. And then exhale, re-bend the right knee, warrior 2. Shoulders are over hips, no surfing. Exhale 1, inhale. Exhale 2, bend that right knee a little bit more. Exhale 3, inhale. Exhale 4, inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, re-bend the right knee and place the right hand on the outside of the right foot on a block. Inhale, bring the left arm alongside the ear and exhale here for 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Look into your left hand. Exhale 5. On your inhale, bring the left hand down to the ground to frame the right foot and come up onto the ball of the back foot. And then exhale, lengthen the right leg and hop the left foot in just so that the heel comes down to the ground and you've created a pyramid with your feet. Your legs are on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Your toes are pointing toward the front of your mat, but you're in a pyramid. So the left leg is behind the right, at least a foot, if not 18 inches. Your inhale, pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward, and then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Now on your inhale, lengthen the spine and look up. And then exhale, place the left hand on the outside of your right foot on a block. Or 2 blocks. Take your left hand and place it. Now, you want to bring the block next to your foot. Your left arm should be making contact with the right calf. On your inhale, lift the right arm up into the sky and exhale here for revolved triangle. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, falling over is part of it. That's the fun of it. Exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Now inhale, come back to center and frame the front foot with both of your hands. And then exhale, bending both knees, bringing the left knee down to the ground underneath your left hip. On your inhale, lift the torso, bring the arms alongside the ears. And then exhale, bring the hands through heart center and twist to the right, left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Now, if it's your first time here, stay right here, just experience the twist. On your inhale, if you feel stable, tuck your toes, lift your left knee off the ground, and exhale here for 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, come back to center and frame the front foot with both hands. And then exhale, shift weight into the right leg. On your inhale, lift the left leg off the ground and exhale, coming into a standing split. So your right leg is straight, your left leg is up in the sky somewhere, and you're folded over your right leg. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. Now listen, this is easier than it sounds. Bend your left knee and open the left hip. Get a little stretch. And then on your exhale, spiral that left knee down to the outside of your right foot and come to sit down on both of your sit bones. On your inhale, lift the left arm alongside the ear. And then exhale, twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, counter twist. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, stacking the shins. So bringing the left shin parallel to the front of your mat. And then stacking your right shin on top of it. Ankle is stacked over knee. So if you need a blanket, a block, some props in between, you're going to put your ankle over your knee. You're going to flex both of your feet. The soles of your feet are pointing toward the sides of the room, not the ceiling. On your inhale, you're going to lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, come to sit up tall. And then on your exhale, keep the right leg in front. Let's swing the left leg around and come into a pigeon. Why it's a pigeon, I don't know, but it's here. If you have a space in between your hips, you can put a block underneath, a blanket. On your inhale, you can stay here keeping your hands next to your sit bones, or you can bend the left knee, reach around, grab the inside of the foot, but turn the shoulders back toward the front. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, release the left foot, place the hands down on the ground in front of your right shin, and then tuck your back toes. On your exhale, bring your right leg back into a down dog split, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So coming into a downward facing dog, all 4 of our limbs on the ground. On your inhale, step your left foot forward, right heel comes down, rise up, warrior 1, and exhale here for 1. Inhale, exhale 2, inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, inhale, exhale, open arms and hips to warrior 2. On your inhale, straighten the left leg. On your exhale, reach the left hand forward toward Krishna. Place the left hand on the left shin. Right arm comes up to the ceiling for Trikonasana. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, come to stand up tall. And then exhale, rebend the left knee, warrior 2. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, lengthen the left leg. Exhale, rebend the left knee, placing the left hand outside of the left foot on a block. Inhale, bring the right arm alongside the ear, and exhale here for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3, looking into the right palm. Exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, bring the right hand down to the ground, coming onto the ball of the right foot. And then exhale, lengthen the left leg, hopping the right foot in. So you're still in a pyramid, but your right heel comes down to the ground. Toes are pointing toward the front of the mat. Legs are on railroad tracks, not a tightrope. Inhale, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, lengthen the spine and look up. And then exhale, place the right hand on the outside of the left foot on a block or on the ground. On your inhale, lift the left arm up to the sky and exhale here for revolved triangle. Remember to create that connection with your right arm and your left leg. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center, framing the front foot with both hands. And then exhale, softening the knees, bringing the right knee down to the ground underneath the right hip. On your inhale, lift the torso, bringing the arms alongside the ear. And then exhale, hands through heart center, twist to the left, right elbow on the outside of the left knee. On your inhale, if you did it on the other side, tuck the toes and lift the right knee off the ground. And exhale here for 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. On your inhale, come back to center, framing the front foot with both hands. And then exhale, shift weight into the left leg. On your inhale, lift the right leg off the ground. And exhale, fold over your left leg for standing split. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. You can move the box so that you have it there. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, open the right hip by bending the right knee. And exhale, spiraling the right knee down, coming to the outside of the left foot and coming to sit down on both sit bones. On your inhale, lift the right arm alongside the ear. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Planting the right foot firmly on the ground. Exhale 5. On your inhale, come back to center. And exhale, counter twist. 1 breath. Inhale, come back to center. And setting up for Agni Stambhasana. So bringing the right shin parallel to the front of the mat. Stacking the left shin on top of it. Ankle is stacked over knee. And feet are dorsal flex, soles of the feet pointing toward the sides of the room. On your inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, come to sit up tall. And then exhale, keeping the left leg in front, swing the right leg around, coming into a pigeon pose. Getting any props or blocks or things. In this pose, you want the hips to be facing forward. And then you can inhale, walk your hands back towards your hips to keep your torso upright. And then, if stable here, bend the right knee, reach around behind and grab the inside of the foot. And then turning the torso back toward the front. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, release the leg. Place the hands in front of the left shin. Tuck the back toes. And come into a downward facing, three-legged dog. Thank you, Beth. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, come forward to a plank position, looking forward. And exhale, we're going to come into a side plank. So bring the big toes and heels to touch. Keep the hands exactly where they are. And then we're going to come into a side plank on the right. So you're going to shift your weight into your right hand. You're going to stack your left leg on top of the right, or you're going to drop down to your right knee. And exhale here for 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. That's good. Keep your right knee on the ground. Keep your right knee on the ground. Keep your right knee on the ground. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, come back to center plank. And then exhale, shifting weight onto the left hand and stacking the right leg on top of the left. That's exactly right. Good for you. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, come back to a plank. And then exhale, bring the hips up and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank position, looking forward. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide forward to Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. Big toes and heels touch. Snakes have one leg. And then exhale, lifting the hands off the ground for Cobra. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Rest the feet on the ground. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, come to lie down, resting the cheek to one side and rock the hips from side to side. Keeping the legs together, arms alongside the torso, setting up for Shalabhasana. So in Shalabhasana, we lift up everything all at one time. So on your inhale, lifting the head and the shoulders, the arms, the legs, and the feet. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Grab my arms. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, come down. Rest the cheek to one side and rock your hips from side to side. Now bring the forehead back to center, setting up for Dhanurasana, so bow seat. So bending the knees, reaching around and grabbing the outside of the feet or the ankles. And then again, with that same momentum as we did in Shalabhasana, you're going to lift everything up all at the same time. So on your inhale, press your feet into your hands and lift up. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Come down and release the legs. Turn the cheek to one side. Rock the hips from side to side. Let's try that one again. Because why do one when we can do 2? So let's bend our knees. Let's reach around and grab the outsides of our feet again. And then on your inhale, lift up. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Come down. Bringing the forehead toward the center, bringing the hands next to the rib cage. On your inhale, bringing the legs together as well. Inhale, come into an upward facing dog. And then exhale, come to a downward facing dog. Now, from your downward facing dog, bring your knees to right behind your wrist creases and come to stand up on your shins. Okay, you can put a blanket or some other cushion underneath your knees if you need it. Take your block, place your block behind you where your feet are, and then tuck your toes. Put your toes on the block. Take your hands, place your hands on your back, fingertips pointing toward the ceiling. Now on your inhale, just shift your hips forward. Keep your chin where it is. Shift your hips forward. Now see if you can arch back a little bit more. Keeping your chin forward. Arch back a little bit more. You might just stay here, experience this. If you'd like to take your hands and see if you can reach down to your feet, grabbing the heels. And then finally, on an exhale, you can let your head go back, continuing to shift the hips forward. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. On your inhale, tucking the chin, coming up, not wiggling from side to side. And then you can take the block out from under your feet and come to just rest your sit bones on your shins. And then exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Coming onto all fours. Then press the seat to the heels. Come into a downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, coming through a chaturanga and coming to lie down on your stomach. Bring the left arm alongside your ear and then roll over onto your back. Bending the knees, keeping the knees about hips width distance apart, bringing the arms alongside the torso, and see if you can tickle your heels with your fingertips. Now on your inhale, press into the feet and lift your hips up. And then exhale, clasp the hands underneath the back. Let's bring the feet a little bit closer together. There you go. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hands and come down. Upper, middle, lower back. Now we have some options here. You can windshield wiper the knees from side to side. We have some options here, yogis. We can do exactly what we just did and do that one more time or 2 more times. You can do what we just did and put a block underneath your sacrum. Or we can move into what's called Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward bow, which looks kind of like a wheel, but it's upside down. So we did Dhanurasana before, right? We did a bow seat lying on our stomach. Now we're going to do a bow seat lying on our backs. So decide what you're doing. Make a choice. You chose to come here. Make a choice on which one you're going to do. And if you're doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, place your hands next to your ears, fingertips pointing toward the shoulders. And then pressing into the hands, pressing into the feet, lifting up the body. And exhale here for 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and come down with control. You can windshield wiper the knees from side to side. If that hurts, then try doing the bridge again. Setting up for our second Urdhva Dhanurasana. Do you want to try it? Scoot back a little bit. Pressing into the hands, pressing into the feet, and lifting up. Hold on a second. Exhale 1. Hold on to my ankles. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck the chin into your chest and come down. All right. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And one more Urdhva Dhanurasana, just for good measure. Placing the hands next to the head. Come up. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck the chin into the chest and come down. Now you can give the knees a little hug. We made it through the back bends. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Making small circles with the sacrum. And then bringing the knees over to the left side. Bringing your knees in line with your navel or belly button. And then turning the head over to the right. It's important the knees are in line with the navel so you are twisting from the spine and not from the hips. Inhale. Exhale 1. So let's move the knees up. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3 and look over the right shoulder. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center. Give the knees a hug. And then exhale, bring the knees to the other side and look over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale, come back to center. Give the knees one more little hug. And then bring the fingertips in between the knee creases. We're going to rock and roll up. And on our third rock and roll up, we're going to stay on our sit bones and come into what's called boat seat. So it's as if you're balancing on your sit bones and your legs are straight out in front of you. So on your inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. And exhale, stay here in Navasana. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. You can keep your knees bent. You can hold on to your legs for dear life. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Bend the knees. Bring the feet down to the ground. Bring the soles of the feet together. Keep the heels about 12 to 18 inches in front of your hips. So this is not, we're not going to do it with like our heels all the way close to us. We're going to keep a nice elongated diamond. Inhale, and then exhale, fold forward, trying to bring the forehead toward the soles of the feet. And then inhale, come to sit up tall. Exhale, lengthen the legs out in front of you, just like we did at the beginning. Toes are pointed up toward the ceiling, pressing through the heels. Hands are by the hips. And then inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale. Exhale 1, keeping the pressing through those heels. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Inhale. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale 7. Inhale. Exhale 8. Inhale. Exhale 9. Inhale. Exhale 10. Inhale, come to sit up tall. And then exhale, releasing any belts or props if you use them. Bring the fingertips 6 to 8 inches behind the sit bones. Pointing the toes toward the ground. On your inhale, pressing into the hands and lifting the hips, coming into what looks like an inclined plank. And exhale here for 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin into the chest and come to sit down. So we're going to move into shoulder stand. If this is your first time here, I suggest you go to the wall, bring the sit bones to the wall, and bring the legs up in an L shape for Viparita Karani. That's also a choice, even if it's your 1000th class here at Urban Sadhu. Go for it. Or if you'd like to come up into shoulder stand, I'll call that out. And if you need a blanket underneath your mat, I'm happy to help you set that up. So let's bring our mats to the wall. Let's bring our mats to the wall. Come on. If you have shoulder stand in your practice and you want to go into it right now, go ahead. Okay. And we're going to look like Beth here at the wall. You think you can. Let's try come to the wall, because we'll do it that way. So come like this. Move your sit bones all the way to the wall. Bend one knee. Place your foot on the wall like this. Now press into this and see, or bend both knees. Yeah, and now see if you can lift and put your hands on your back. Put your hands on your back. Keep your thumb with the rest of your hands. Keep the thumb with the rest of your fingers. And now you can lift one leg and then the other if you feel so inclined. Here's where it is. Too much? It's okay. If you are still in shoulder stand, hinge at the hips and bring your feet over the back of the head toward Halasana. If your legs are up the wall, stay right there. Enjoy. If your toes reach the ground, clasp the hands behind the back, releasing the hands from the back. If your toes are not on the ground, keep your hands on your back for support. And then bringing the knees alongside the ears for Karni Padasana and bringing the fingertips in between the knee creases. And then bringing the hands down next onto your mat and using them as brakes and rolling down. If your legs are up the wall, bring the soles of the feet together and bring the knees out to the side. Now you can stay here, or if you'd like to join us in fish pose, which stretches out the throat, you can come back to lie flat on your mat. Setting up for Matsyasana, fish pose, tuck the elbows in toward the hips, turn the palms up, inhale, puff up the chest, and then exhale, come to the top of the head. Inhale, puff up the chest. Not up. Keep your hips on the ground. Put a little weight in these elbows. Inhale, just puff up the chest, and then come to the top of the head. Inhale, tuck the chin into the chest and come to lie flat on the back. Setting up for headstand practice. So, let's everybody try, even if you just go with prep for headstand. If you want to use the wall, bring your mat to the wall. If your mat's already there, Amazing. Look at that. If you have headstand in your practice, feel free to stay in the center of the room as well. I will walk us through. So what we are not going to do is put a blanket underneath our heads, because we're going to slip and slide all over the place. I know it seems good, but you want to make sure you have firm traction with your elbows. So come into a child seat. Bring the arms alongside the ears. Clasp the hands together in front of you. Bring the wrist creases together. And then bring the top of the head behind the wrist creases. So I just said we're not going to put a blanket underneath our heads, because that's not really going to help us. You're going to fall and break your neck. So let's not do it. Okay? We're going to come into child seat. We're going to place our arms alongside of our ears. We're going to clasp our hands together, interlacing our fingers, bringing the wrist creases together, and then we're going to place the top of our head behind our wrist creases. Place the top of your head behind your wrist creases, clasping the hands together. Interlace the fingers, bring the wrist creases together, and then place the top of the head behind the wrist creases. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, and walk the feet forward so the hips come over the shoulders. Inhale, bend one knee in. Exhale, bend the other knee in. There you go. Now bend one foot and place it on the wall. And try to move your hips a little bit away from the wall, just so you get one straight line. That's great. That's great. So don't come on an angle. Come directly onto the top of your head. And you can move this all the way to the wall, so you can just feel the wall behind your back. Yep. You're still kind of coming onto your forehead, all the way onto the top of your head. Yeah. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips. Walk your feet forward. Walk, 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 walk. I know it's hard if your hamstrings are tight. You want to get your hips over your shoulders. Bend one knee in. Just bend one knee in. Don't come up today. Bend one knee in. Now tip your weight forward. There you go. You want to try and keep your elbows a little bit closer together. You want a firm and smaller base. Now put this foot back on the ground and bend the other knee and tip your weight forward. And just do that. Just keep the knee kind of tucked in. Okay? And just feel what that inversion is like. One day you'll move your legs into a split. Okay. If you are still in a headstand, good for you. Start to come down with control. And come into a child seat. Good for you. You can bring the arms alongside the ears. You can bring the arms alongside the body and grab the soles of the feet. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 6. Inhale. Exhale, 7. Inhale. Exhale, 8. Inhale. Exhale, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. On your inhale, come to roll over onto your back, setting up for Shavasana, final resting seat, our death seat, if you will. It is where we practice being dead, separating ourselves from our body, lying still. So you can roll up a blanket and bring it underneath your knees if that's comfortable for you. Bring the legs out to the side, palms facing up. You can keep the arms alongside the body and just face the palms up, and then just relax. If you were holding your breath for half of class, let it go. And just melting into the mat. Feeling that feeling of emptiness. Taking a deep, full inhale through your nose and filling your body with the breath. And then exhale everything out. Taking another deep, full inhale. And by means of the breath, start to bring movement back into your body. So maybe wiggle the fingers, you wiggle the toes, make circles with the ankles, the wrists. Maybe move the head from side to side. Stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the right side long. Stretch the left side long. Stretch everything out. And then bend the knees into the chest. Give them a hug. And then roll over onto the right side, coming into a fetal position. Just lying here for a moment. And then pressing into the left hand, coming up to sit. Finding again a comfortable seat. And then committing to that seat for a short meditation practice. So sit up tall, close your eyes. Again, you can rest your palms on your knees and your palms can face down, your palms can face up, giving energy into the world. Palms facing down, receiving energy from the world. Engaging a deep full inhale and exhale does not have to be the Ujjayi pranayama we talked about earlier, but deep full inhales and exhales. Drawing your senses inward, closing the eyes, and focusing the mind. If you have a mantra that you like to use in meditation, go ahead and use that. Otherwise, on your inhale, silently say to yourself, Om. And on your exhale, silently say to yourself, Om. 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 Shanti. 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 Bringing your hands together in prayer and heart center and bowing your head slightly. Giving thanks and praise to the teachings and the teachers of the past, the teachings and the teachers of the present, and the teachers and the teachings that have yet to be revealed to us. Om Bolo Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your practice with everyone here tonight. My name is Stefanie again. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope for some of you, your first Urban Sadhu class experience was a good one. And for those who have been here many, many times, thank you so much. Have a nice night.
trance tanks. Rock star Glynis Johns is turning 100. It doesn't make any difference to her. She played the role of Brian Banks in the '64 musical Mary Poppins. She's 100 years of age. Still going strong. Wednesday's time, Sunday 30.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own. I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes. Those years cost him dearly. Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible. Ron finally called in the pros. I know Optima Tax Relief. The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed. They settled my account with the IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a light show. I am so happy. Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation. Yeah, don't do like I did. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me. Call 800-741-3889. 800-741-3889. 800-741-3889. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Needs to be delivered. The most trusted name for weather, sports, traffic, and news. 1010 wins at 92.3.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 70 degrees at 7:40. I'm Mario Bosquez. Here is what's happening. Another rain-soaked weekend with advisories going out. Officials urging you to be prepared. A 13-year-old Staten Island boy dies in a bus stabbing attack. Suspect a 14-year-old boy. Eyebrow-raising and frightening finds at a local school leading to a lockdown for weapons. Broad daylight attack in Central Park on a tourist and her daughter. There's been an arrest. It could cost you more to drop mail in the mailbox. AccuWeather flood watch for the city, nearby suburbs from late tonight through tomorrow morning. AccuWeather standing by to fill you in on more. Tuesday, 7:41, no time for traffic and transit right now. Great.